Welcome to Alien Agenda. Tonight, Colonel Gene is sitting down with Joe, a retired military man from West Texas who's seen things in the skies above his home that most of us only read about. A combat veteran, oil field worker, amateur astronomer, and a first-hand witness to something massive and silent hovering over his house in the dead of night. This is episode 1 of Joe's story, and it's just the beginning.
Let me just get a little information about you. I understand you were in the military.
Yeah, I'm retired NCO.
Are you? What was your specialty?
Well, it just depends. I was in two branches. I was in the Marines active duty, and then I did 4 years or 8-year contract active duty, and then I got out and went into the Guard for 16 and a half years with the Army.
Oh, okay.
And then I was in air defense MANPADs in the Guard side.
Oh,
and I
really?
drove armored vehicles. Yeah, I was in MANPAD. You know what that is, right? MANPADs.
Okay. Yeah, I was artillery originally, and then I took it easy and went to finance.
Oh, nothing wrong with that. Still a job.
Well, you know what? When I was in the artillery, I was out in the field a lot. And I looked at the colonel and I said, he's just about as miserable as I am, so I think I'll change.
We can relate.
Where were you stationed?
Well, Marine side, I was in Southern California.
Okay.
And then in the Guard, I was a little bit everywhere.
What Guard were you in, Texas?
Army, Texas Army. Texas Army National Guard.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I went down. I had a job one time in Houston for a couple of months. I worked at the University of Houston to survey their campus. I couldn't get over how big that city is. Holy cripes.
Imagine the state.
Yeah. I can imagine. Okay, now you want me to address, you refer to you as Joe X. Is that what you want me to do?
Yeah, just call me Joe.
Just Joe. Okay. And you are in West Texas. Is that what you want me to say? Is that okay?
Yeah, that's okay.
Okay, good. Yeah, I had one of my closest friends was in Austin, and he married his wife's brother was for a while. He was the Speaker of the House in the state of Texas. So they were politically connected. I don't know what his name was anymore, but they were pretty well connected to the state government. Obviously, if he was the Speaker of the State House in Texas. But
right.
All right. Well, it's going to be interesting. I'll let you do most of the talking. Just try to lead you in when I can. And I got a couple of questions I'll ask you, and we'll go from there, okay? Hi, folks. It's Colonel Gene again with Alien Agenda. Tonight, we're going to talk to a gentleman that has some real experience. His name is Joe, and he lives in West Texas. I want to welcome you, Joe, to Alien Agenda. And let me tell you, let's tell our audience a little about your what you did when you grew up and your experience in the military.
Okay, I'm a West Texas guy. I'm a Texas guy, and I come from a rough background. But I'm a law-abiding citizen. Some people have some tough lives. I had that, but things have gotten better. It's always good to improve your life. And I've been around the world. I'm grateful I joined the military. I did other things. I've worked in the oil field. I've worked in construction, a little bit of everything, and the military. So I got a pretty good rounded about different experiences in life.
It sounds like you got your hands dirty sometimes.
Oh, I got my hands dirty all the time. But it was a good experience. It's always good to go through that.
Yep. Yeah, I agree. I think the military gives you an exposure that you wouldn't otherwise have. And I don't think people that haven't served in the military really appreciate what they do, to be honest with you.
Right. I agree with you, and I have no regrets. I'm glad I did it.
Yep, me too. Yep. Yeah, I met some good people. You have still some good friends, that keep in touch with, and it's always nice to commiserate, just like I did with you, about what we did. Well, tell us a little about
Right.
your military experience.
Okay. I'm retired like you are.
Hmm.
I was a non-commissioned officer, and in the Marines, I was an infantryman. I was a light machine gunner on active duty. I started off as a saw gunner, squad automatic weapon. Then I worked my way up to squad leader, and there's times I did platoon sergeant work. It just depends on, if somebody was on leave or anything like that.
Hmm.
And, I did also sniper familiarization course. And being in the infantry, the real Marine Corps, that's what we call it, we was always in the field, and we was always training. So it was all outdoor work, and I'm glad of that. And we went on a lot of force marches. When the trucks wouldn't roll and we didn't have helicopter support, we'd have to do 20, 30-mile force marches with gear, weapons, ammo, ammunition, water that we carry on our backs all the way back that far. And we had blisters upon blisters in our feet. We were real sore. But I'm glad I did all that. Somebody has to do it. And so we over mountainous terrain. We was in high altitude mountains training. We was in deserts. We was in swamplands, jungles. We did a little bit of everything. And that's what I did. I was a light machine gunner in the infantry.
That sounds interesting. I used to like the 50. I used to like to shoot the 50 cal. I thought that was an
I
awesome
enjoyed that.
weapon. Yeah, it's a
Right.
you don't want to be on the business end of that thing.
Oh no. That will cut somebody in half.
Have you seen some of the 50 caliber rifles that they have now?
Yes, I'm very impressed with them. The Barrett
Hmm.
50, and others that have come in. I mean, the stuff America makes is so good. I don't see anybody outdoing us in that stuff, and that's the way it should be. I don't want nobody to outdo the U.S. And I want us to stay on top of the technology field, and I don't want to see the United States ever to be second fiddle to any nation. That's
I
the way
agree
I
with you.
feel and believe.
Well,
And but the weapons. Go ahead.
go ahead. What I was going to say is we've had a great experience testing some of our weapons or the Ukrainians have, and they really have turned out to be extremely lethal.
Oh yes, and they're going to get more lethal as time goes on.
Yep.
And even
Yeah,
the old stuff is still usable.
the new weapons that are coming on board with the laser and the focused energy beam weapons, they are awesome. I've seen some of the test movies of those things. They are unbelievable. It's just like Star Trek.
Well, yeah, I mean, things are always getting better all the time. I remember growing up in the late 60s, early 70s, and then during that time, I'd look at the comics of Dick Tracy then. And my point is this: the comics of Dick Tracy showed him speaking into a wrist, a watch or something, and seeing somebody's face and talking into it.
Yep.
And Dick Tracy came alive today with what we're talking on right now with iPhones and everything like that.
Absolutely
And what was
correct.
fantasy then,
Yep.
and what was fantasy then is now reality. And what's going to come out 50 years or 100 years after we're gone? It's just amazing.
Yeah, I said to my kids I was born 50 years too soon. I want to ask you,
What do they say?
can you tell us a little bit about? I have here a question. In 2017, you saw a flying triangle. Can you tell us a little about that?
Yes, sir. Yeah, I'll tell you about it. And before I get to that, I want to say one thing. I know there's one I want to tell you about. It's terrifying. And people go to these Roswell UFO conferences, and they go to McMinnville, Oregon. There's a UFO conference there that's pretty big, and they got one in South Texas, in Edinburgh. But there's others across the United States. Well, anyways, people have fun. They do their thing, and just to get away and have fun during these events, like parades and this and that. But in reality, that's fun, and that's good. The families get out and have fun. But in reality, when it comes to alien abduction and all that stuff like that, that stuff is terrifying. That's where it ceases to be funny. And I'm going to get to the flying triangle, and I'll go there right now. But anyways, the flying triangle flew over my house, and because I'm an amateur astronomer, and so I love looking at the stars at night. And West Texas has beautiful dark skies, and it flew over, but it was taking its sweet ginger time. It was in no hurry to get anywhere. I'm glad of that. It took its sweet time. I was stunned and amazed by the size of it and the privilege to see it. I tried to get it on my camera, but it wouldn't take.
Really?
The flying triangle was gigantic, and it was on the points of the triangle. There was 3 large white lights, but they weren't bright. They were like a dim white. And then there was a large bulb in the middle. It was red light pulsing very slowly, like every 5 seconds it would pulse. And it was a slow pulse when the light would go blink off and on, the red dot in the center. And as it took its sweet time, I had fun with it. I was flashing it with my flashlight, waving. I was trying to see if anybody was awake so I could point to other people so they could see it. And it was at night when everybody's asleep, probably around 2 in the morning. And this was in 2017. Well, another thing that amazed me about the flying triangle was, number one, as big as it was, what little noise it made. It produced such little noise from its engines. It sounded like a gentle hum that it woke nobody up. And it was going in a northerly direction. And but like I say, it was taking its sweet time. It was in no hurry to get anywhere. And I'm glad of that because I got a good view of it.
It's too bad you weren't able to get pictures of it. How big do you think it was?
Gosh, I've seen C-130s fly around here. AC-130s.
Yep.
I know what those are because I used to ride in them.
Yeah, I know what they are.
Those AC-130s look like mosquitoes compared to it.
Really?
And it was that big. And I wasn't terrified at all. I mean, I prayed to the Lord to protect me, and it was a privilege to see it. And I wondered to this day, where did it go? Where is it parked?
Did it leave rapidly? When it left, did it fly off in a hurry?
No, that's like I mentioned, Gene. It took its sweet time.
Huh.
It was in no hurry to get anywhere. It was just gingerly flying across the sky in no rush, and I could hear the engines of it, and it was a gentle hum of the engines. It wasn't loud at all. And it made such little noise, nobody came out to see what was going on.
How long did you watch it, do you think?
I say about, slow as it was going, 15 minutes, 20. It was in no hurry to get anywhere.
Almost like it was watching us, huh?
Yeah, watching us, observing, and I thought about, as it flew over, somehow it knew that everybody was asleep, and that's when it was a time for it to fly over. So obviously, something like that don't want to be seen, it's going to go over where people can see it. Do you know what I mean?
Well, I've talked to some people that think they are mapping certain areas, and actually collecting data. And a lot of the sightings that I've read about have been over nuclear facilities. Was there any kind of a nuclear power plant or anything like that in your area?
No, it's West Texas is a rural area, and
Okay.
where I live at, you get outside of the town, and it's West Texas wilderness, and it was a gorgeous sight to see. I was privileged to see it.
Yeah, I wish I would.
Not
everybody sees them
Go
like
ahead.
that now. Yeah.
But that's been a regular occurrence for me in my life, Gene.
Yeah,
I'm
I've
just saying
talked
it's
to
like
some
it is.
people that have said that, and I've only seen, we had 4 objects in New Jersey. I'm in New Jersey. About 6 months
Uh-huh.
ago, when we had all those drones. That's the only experience that I've had.
Mm-hmm. Mine's been a lifetime.
That's a wrap for the first episode of our discussion with Joe. So Joe just told us about a triangular craft the size of a city block, silent, slow, and deliberate, drifting over the West Texas darkness in 2017. But as he said himself, that was just one of many. He has been seeing these things his entire life. In episode 2, we'll hear about a different craft entirely, one that lit up with strange symbols as if it knew Joe was watching. Don't miss it!